Hello. Today we are going to estimate decimal products. So just to quickly review, the word product is the answer to a multiplication equation. I have two examples on this slide. 3 and 9/10 times 4 and 2/10. What we want to do in order to estimate decimal products is we want to round each number to the highest place value. So 3 and 9/10 are 3 is in the ones place, and that's the highest place value. So the number under our arrow is 5 or more. We raise the score of the 3, and it becomes a 4. So we could either write this decimal, 3.9, as 4.0, which is the same thing as just 4. For 4 and 2/10, if we round that to the highest place value, we underline our digit in our highest place value, draw our arrow. This is 4 or less, give the 4 a rest, and this is 4 as well. 4 times 4 is 16. So if we were to actually do our multiplication, our answer should be close to 16. 12 and 2/10, we'll round this number to our highest place value. Our 1 is in our highest place value. It's in the tens place. So 12.2 would round to 10. 10.0 is the same thing as 10, but we don't typically write anything to the right of the decimal point if there's a 0 there. So that's just 10. That's like saying $12.20 is close to $10. 8 and 5/10 would round to 9. Our 8 is in our ones place, so our estimate will be in the ones place. 10 times 9 is 90. For our next problem, 23 and 79/100. Again, that's like $23.79. If we were to round to our highest place value, 4 or less, give the 2 a rest. Everything to the right becomes a 0, which is the same thing as saying 23 and 79/10 would round to 20. 51 and 7/10 would round to 50. We want only one digit that's a non-zero number. So what I mean by that is we wouldn't want to round this to 52 because it would make our estimate a lot harder. We want just two digits so that way we can do a fast fact of 2 times 5 is 10 and then add our two zeros. Number, 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 comma, our answer would be close to 1,000. 192 and 2/10. Our 1 is in our hundred spot, so our answer is going to round to the nearest hundred, or our highest place value. 5 or more, raise the score of the 1, it becomes a 2. And everything to the right becomes a 0. Again, I'm just going to stop at that decimal point because 200.0 is the same as 200, they're equivalent. And 84 and 5/10 would round to 80. Then we can do our fast fact. 2 times 8 is 16. Add our 3 zeros. Our answer will be close to 16,000. We're going to use these estimates later on when we actually do our multiplication of decimals, but it's important to know around where your answer should land to see if you're on the right track. So for these final two problems, we need to figure out where we should put the decimal. There's a couple of ways we can do this. So in our first example, 3 and 9/10 times 4 and 2/10. I'm going to round each number to the highest place value. So 3 and 9/10 is close to 4. 4 and 2/10 is close to 4. And I know that 4 times 4 is 16. Here are the digits that you would get if you were to do the actual multiplication. 1, 6, 3, 8. Where should the decimal go in order to make this number close to 16? If I put it after the 8, that number would be 1,638. That's not close to 16. What about if I put the decimal here? That would be 163 and 8/10. That's not close to 16. If I put it between the 6 and the 3, that would be 16 and 38 hundredths. That's very close to 16. So if I were to place the decimal to make my estimate correct, the decimal would go between the 6 and the 3. We will learn that you can also move the decimal. So I like to picture a cow and have the cow moving the decimal. So there's one digit that's to the right of the decimal point in the number 3 9/10. There's one digit that's to the right in 4 2/10. That's 2 total digits to the right. We can scoop that decimal over 2 times to add it between the 6 and the 3. We'll learn more about that later in the week. But for now, if you have an estimate, that will help you figure out where the decimal should go. For this second problem, 26 and 2/10, that's close to 30. 8 and 99 hundredths is close to 9. 30 times 9, 3 times 9 is 27. Add a 0, 270. We need to put the decimal in the correct spot to make it close to 270. If I put it here, that would be 235,538. Not correct. If I put it between the 3 and the 8, that'd be 23,553 and 8/10. Not close to 270. Here would be 2,355 and 38 hundredths. Not close. If I put it here, it would be 235. Ooh, that's close to 270. So that would be the correct spot for the decimal if you use your estimate. If we wanted to think of the cow and move the decimal, there's one number to the right of that decimal point. That's 1. In 8 and 99 hundredths, there's 2 total numbers to the right. So that's 3 numbers that are to the right of the decimal point that we can go back at the end and add in 3 spots from the right. Both are strategies to help you figure out where the decimal should go. Depending which number and which way you want to solve would help you figure out which would be the best. But for now, I would multiply each number after you round it to figure out your ballpark estimate and then use that to place your decimal.